Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast channel on YouTube. I am, of course, Unfound's host, Ed Densel. As the title suggests, I'll be doing a map analysis for the disappearance of Milda McQuillan. Before I get started, I hope that you will subscribe to this channel if you are not yet a subscriber. Hope you will like this video if you find it informative. I'm hoping this will be a helpful supplemental to the podcast that came out on August 19th, 2022. And if you'd really like to support Unfound, please hit the join button below. And for the very low price of 10 cents a day, you can support this channel and get a lot of extra perks that the non-paying people don't get. All right, I'm going to start here. First, we have to understand that this is almost 50 years ago. I'm perfectly willing to be, I'm perfectly open to the idea that maybe some roads have changed since 1975. There's a lot more housing and all of that. All right, so we're just going to have to do the best we can do with this. And even if I were using the oldest satellite view I could find, probably it's only going to go back to the mid-2000s anyway, so I don't know how helpful that's going to be. So with all that in mind, let's get started. First of all, right here, and maybe this might be a little confusing to people, Milda lived on Round Lake. This is Round Lake right here. And in fact, this rectangle kind of right in here is known as Round Lake Township. The problem is that there's actually a Round Lake, Minnesota, as in a town that's nowhere near here. So please do not get confused by that. So that's why at the beginning of the the podcast, I stated that she lived on Round Lake, which is right there. In fact, Round Lake, Minnesota is way to the south of here. Why that is, I don't know. But this is, at least according to Google, in 2022. I'm doing this video on August 18th, 2022. This would have been the quickest way for Milda to drive from where she lived to where she was going, which is where Clarence and Jean lived, right up here, where the red, not quite a dot, but that red marker is. You can see that it's about 18 miles and about 22 minutes. And I'm inclined to believe that these roads that she would have traveled back then, or the ones that exist now, are the ones that existed back then. There is nothing on this blue line that did not exist in 1975. I am fairly sure of that. Okay, so this is presumably the way she would have went, but of course they did not have GPS or Google or anything back then. So I want to present maybe a different way she could have gone. And so I'm going to have to zoom in to do this. And there is a road. It's called Red Top Road. And it is right here. So Google says to go up here a little bit north and then make a right, which would be going in an east direction. However, this road right here is Red Top Road. And as you can see, it goes right along the lake, probably a very scenic drive. And probably also you can see that there are places where people live, or they have summer camps, something like that, along this road. The problem is we're going to get into what you may see and what I may see as a little bit of a contradiction regarding some of the information that was presented at the time in 1975, and at least one prominent map that, like a drawing, I guess, that you can now find on our website, theunfoundpodcast.com, on Milda's page. I'm going to get into that in a second. So Google says in 2022, the quickest way to get to that destination is to continue going on this Route 37, where it's very possible in 1975 that Milda could have turned right here. Now you must also understand something else, is that the difference between these routes is they are about as far apart as you can get. This route along the lake, Valley Lake, is populated. Not very populated, but there are people living here, staying here, wherever. Whereas I'm going to show you a street view of this Route 37 here in a moment, and there is nothing on it. Zero. So allow me to do that right now. In a prior time trying to do this just a couple hours ago, it did not allow me to do this, so I'm hoping that it does. For some reason, it was giving me a hard time putting the little orange guy on the road. Okay, very good. So I'm not going to go up and down this road, but just showing you, this is Route 37. This is going north toward where the right, a right turn, a 90-degree turn to the right, that would have been Black Bear Beach Road. Just showing you this picture. This is what the entire road looks like, because I've been up and down it on Street View before I did this video. There is nothing on it. Now, why is this kind of a concern, and where does this contradiction come in that I mentioned a couple minutes ago? And I will take you up to what at least the intersection looks like in 2022, and it's right there. So I'll put the little orange guys so you can see what, like I said, there is nothing here. These mailboxes, so the mailman or mailwoman, postal worker, doesn't even go down. There's Black Bear Beach Road right there. Now, would it be easy to miss? Hard to say how it was marked in 1975. But I think what we're saying here is not even the post office goes down that road. They expect people to come out, down from the lake, drive up here and get their mail every day or whenever. Now, as far as FedEx, UPS, I don't know. But, of course, both existed back in 1975. But the post office could not be less bothered or more bothered, however you want to look at it. So, you can just look around here. There is nothing. No convenience stores, no houses, no warehouses, no dentist's office, no 7-Elevens, nothing on this entire road. Now, the issue is this, and it gets back to that map that you can find. This is the map that I'm talking about that has these numbers on it, 1 through 5, where she lived, the destination, where her car stalled, which was way down here. Of course, near where she lived. But here's the issue, and I'm going to put that, I want to put that back into the map, at least that location. Okay, that is location of where she was going. Just leave it like this. Okay, so she's coming up this way, and there are two choices, once again, to make a right here. Now, Joe has told me something about, he's seen a map where there's a Jersey barrier. Is it here, or is it over here? So maybe people can't even access this road or something anymore. I'm not sure. I'm doubting that was the situation in 1975. But Milda had two choices. Either making a right here to go up there, because this road and Black Bear Beach Road do intersect right there. They do come together. Or she could have gone the way Google suggested up here, the main road where there's nothing, no houses, nothing, make a right and go down. This is the more efficient route. This is more scenic route, I guess you'd say. Problem we have is this, if this map that's drawing from back then is to be believed. There is a marking that is number 4 that says, and I spoke to Joe about this, and even with his expertise in this disappearance of 4 or 5 years, he's not sure what to make of it. And there's nothing in the police paperwork that he's been able to find this has actually happened. But number 4 states that there was a truck driver up in this area above Black Bear Road who says that he gave Milda directions. So somewhere up in here. And the road is like right in here. But somewhere up here, once again, a drawing. It's the best they could do in 1975. So it would lead you to believe that she did go up this way and missed Black Bear Road, turning to the right, and got up here somehow. Maybe she somehow knew, man, something's not right here, and somehow ran into this truck driver. The issue is, though, is that as I told you, or as I showed you, there's nothing there. So did she flag down this driver? Was he pulled over to the side of the road for some reason? Nobody knows. And as Joe told me, there's nothing in the paperwork to show that this actually happened. So we're not sure what to make of this. It's in this map that somebody put in the newspaper back at the time when Milda went missing, but there's nothing. And he is not the person we're talking about that we mentioned, the cement guy. This is a totally separate person. Now here's where the contradiction comes in. So right up here is allegedly where this truck driver ran into Milda and put her on her way. The issue, though, is the cement guy that we spoke about during the interview was on Red Top Road. So maybe already you can see, well, how can that be? That you have this truck driver who said that he ran into Milda way up here on Route 37, whereas this other guy says he talked to or saw her car go by on Red Top Road. It just doesn't seem... It seems very contradictory, because if she's on this road, then really how does she get over here? And likewise, if she's up here and this truck driver was actually, giving her directions, he wouldn't have told her to go the whole way back down here to Red Top Road and go over. He would have said, oh, you're just right down the street. All you got to do is go to Black Bear Beach Road and you'll take you right to where you're going. Likewise, if she encountered somebody on Red Top Road, there's no way that person would have said, oh, you got to turn around, you got to go back to Route 37 and go up here to get in there. Unless there was some sort of blockage over here, but that just doesn't seem, it just seems a little crazy. And there's no story out there saying that the road is blocked or anything. Although, like I said, Joe says there's a Jersey barrier in here somewhere. I'm not sure what to make of it. Given that there's nothing in the police work or the paperwork that Joe has, although, as he stated, what he got seems to be things missing. I'm not sure this sighting or whatever by this truck driver or what happened. It also seems that over the years that the story about somebody giving her directions and the cement layer, those two things have been molded into one person. Whereas to look at what is described back in 1975 is that they're two separate people. The truck guy who gave her directions and the cement guy who saw her car go by. Either way, now I will tell you, my impression is that back then and now, it's just easier to go up here to Black Bear Road and go over instead of making the turn there. It seems a little quicker. Probably this way might be safer, given that there are more people there in case you do break down or something. But if for efficiency's sake, certainly going this way and over seems better. Now you're maybe wondering, well, there's two more things I want to get to. Where was her car found? It was up in this area. And why is it doing that? Why are you doing that? Huh. Sometimes these computers, I don't know what they're doing. It was found right over in here. So either one way or the other, she came up this way, went this way, and the car ended up in here. Now you may be asking, can you see this road? I don't think you can. However, I will tell you that there does seem to be something kind of like, there does seem to be like the semicircular thing right in here that could lead me to believe that maybe that's an opening in the trees, the canopy of the trees, and that's where this abandoned logging road is, and that's where her car was found. Some other things I want to point out. Black Bear Beach Road ends, but it's not exactly, well, it's a dead end, I guess, but you'll notice here, it ends at a boat ramp. Now, that's gets my attention because some years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, there was a young woman over on the other side of Tampa who was cruising around in a neighborhood. She had gotten lost. I think that maybe she was drinking and driving or was on something. And it was in this neighborhood that was up against this lake, and somehow she got by this gate and drove her car right off a boat ramp into the water and drowned in her car. She was surely not suicidal. This was totally a mistake, and they had video of her doing it. Very sad. So we have to start thinking, well, if Milda made it the whole way around here, why didn't she end up in the water if she was really, really lost and wasn't paying attention, or maybe lost her mind or something was going on? And then are we also to believe if she did go down this road, did she somehow figure out how to turn around on this very narrow road and come back the other way? We don't know. I don't know on that. I think there's something else. Either way, the vehicle was found up in this area, like as we stated, about a mile away from where Gene and Clarence were living. Once again, that red dot right there, and you can see right there where Red Top Road and Black Bear Beach Road meet. Something else to consider in all of this, and this takes us back down, and maybe I don't even need to show the location. I think we have to think about Milda's demeanor that day, because not long into her trip, she had a car problem. Now, we know that cars stalling in the year 2022 is a lot rarer than it happened back in the 1970s. Obviously, technology is so much more sophisticated. Cars are much more reliable now. But even here today, if we have a car problem early into a trip, what do we usually do? We usually turn around and we say, well, this is not worth it. Go home. I can go back there, get the car looked at, see what's going on. And I'm just not going to worry, and I'm just not going to take the risk. Whereas Milda had a car problem, one that she couldn't fix herself. Maybe she flooded it and trying to start it again. We'll never know. That's back in the carburetor days. But she decided to continue on her trip anyway, even though she had a problem with her car within the first couple miles. Something to think about. It's very unusual human behavior, a choice that I don't think most people would make. Even myself, for example, I just drove to Illinois back this past month. And I can guarantee you I have a very reliable car, but if I got a few miles into my journey and the car started sputtering or something, or an emergency lighter came on, I wouldn't be trying to drive to Illinois. I would turn around, get it back home, and figure out what I'm going to do. She continued on her way. And maybe that just shows a little bit maybe into her demeanor. Maybe she wanted to get there so bad. Maybe she didn't understand how dangerous it was. Don't know. But that's something also we should consider when looking at this map analysis and knowing where she was going out into the middle of nowhere, seemingly as she had been there before, and still, despite having a car issue, she decided to drive there anyway. So that is my map analysis for this disappearance of Milda McQuillan. And once again, I want to state, we're just not sure if she went this way along Red Top Road or she went along Black Bear Beach Road. I don't think anybody has any idea. We have a sighting on Red Top Road, but we know how we feel about eyewitnesses after covering 264 disappearances. That's all I got. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please like it. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks.